Hello everyone, my lovely little first graders. How are we doing today? I hope you remember to save your texture hunt paper because you will need that today for the background of your Romare Bearden Jazz Man picture. Last week I asked you to find texture around your house by taking a piece of paper and rubbing on things with your crayons. I did ask Mom and Dad to kind of help you, or whoever, to help you out with that. So I hope you remember to save it so that we could use it this week. We talked about a gentleman named Romare Bearden. He was a Harlem Renaissance artist, and from New York. And he did lots of collages about jazz performers, jazz singers. And so today we're going to make a jazz man to go on our texture hunt paper that we'll glue onto our texture hunt paper. Romare was very into texture. He liked putting lots of texture on his on everything that he did. So when he found pictures in magazines and cut them out, he would sometimes just use the heads, and he'd draw or paint the clothing on, or just all kinds of different things, which you can see in the picture from the slide before this one. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to set this off to the side, and I'm going to take a second piece of paper. All right, and we're going to fold it in half like this and match up your corners. And yes, it's okay if you get somebody to help you with that. And crease it down. And then go ahead and cut this in half on the fold line. So cut that in half, and then you have two pieces of paper. Okay, we're going to draw together. I pre-drew my picture on here, but I'm going to draw it in marker so that you can see it better and you can draw along with me. Okay. I'm going to put this piece off to the side, and that gives me one piece left. All right, and I'm going to fold this piece in half, like this. Put my two corners together, fold it down, and then I will start with the top half. Okay, the fold should be at the bottom closest to you. All right, let me enlarge this just a little bit so that we can see better. And I'm going to take a brown marker, and I'm going to draw. I'll draw slow so that you can go with me. Okay. I'm going to start at the top of my paper, and I'm going to go, maybe an inch, maybe a finger's width, the width of my finger from the top, and I'm going to make a little line right there. Can you see that? All right. Then I'm going to start with the little line that I made, and I'm going to make a curved line that goes like this. And we're making the top half of the man, the shoulders, okay? We're going to go just like that. Can you see that? Do I need to bring this in a little closer? There you go. Okay, and then we'll go the other side. Down the side like that. Now this is how I drew it to begin with, so I'm just going over it so that you can see it better and that you can follow along with me. So I made a curved line at the top of my paper, and I'm going to turn my paper because to me, I find it easier to turn the paper the direction that I want to draw. So I'm going to draw from here to here So I'm going to go just like this. It's kind of curved. It's not a straight line. It kind of curves in just a little bit. Okay. Then I'm going to take it over to the other side. All right. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to make a line that goes down to the bottom of the paper. You can see that. All right. That's the top part of my man. He doesn't have arms on yet. Okay. So bear with me. And I'm going to come down here to the middle, and I'm going to draw a straight line that goes about 3/4 of the way up, and then I'm going to stop. Okay. And then I'm going to go off to the right just a little bit, and then I'm going to go off to the left just a little bit, like I just made a Y. Okay. Okay. Now, they were very fancy back in the day. Everybody dressed up when they went out. And so our guy will be wearing a suit. So let's turn this into a suit. Then go back down here to the bottom of the Y. And I'm going to make a diagonal line up. Right there. And then I'm going to go in toward this line. But I don't go all the way. I stopped. And then I go back out. Okay, like I did a zigzag there. Okay, I'll go over on the other side. Make a diagonal line that goes up. I don't go all the way. Then I zig to the right. And I'm zagging to the left. Okay, so there's his lapel. Okay, let's put some buttons on here. Okay, and he probably would have been wearing a bow tie, a shirt under here, a tie of some sort. So let's do this. Bow tie probably. So let's make a little square right here. Okay, and then a circle, and a circle on the other side. We put a couple lines in there. There's his bow tie. We make a line straight down this way with maybe some buttons on his shirt. Okay? I'll put some buttons down here on his jacket. All right. Now, I'm going to flip this over, and on the bottom side, we're going to make his pants. Okay? So the reason I can open it up like this, but I'm not ready to do that yet. All right? So I'm going to make it the pants. So right here, I'm going to come over to the left side, and I'm going to, well, maybe you should open it up. So it's going to come right out the bottom of this line. I'm going to make a straight line that goes down. Okay? I'm not going all the way down. Okay? And then on this side, I'm going to make a straight line that goes down. Alright? And then we'll make a line down the middle. And we'll make the front of his shoes. These are just half circles. Okay? With a line across the bottom. Alright? This right here is going to be like a half circle. Like that. Half circle on both sides. Not a line though. Okay? Now, we're going to color this and then cut it out. It doesn't matter what color that you would make his suit, but this thing back in the 30s and 40s with pinstripes. Okay, and so a lot of times the suit would be one color and the pinstripes would be another, not too far off. So I'm going to do gray. I'm going to make my suit gray. You can pick out whatever color you want. I'm going to make his suit gray. All right. And then, and the pants should match the jacket. So I'm going to make my lapel just a little bit darker. This right here, just a little darker. Okay. Then I will get the rest of the jacket colored. And I'll show you what to do with the pinstriping. Alright. Alright, now his pants. Looks almost blue, doesn't it, on the camera? But it's really gray. Alright, so the color of his pants gray. And of course his shoes would have been black. Alright, now we got to put the texture of the pinstripe in. Let me see. I need a black. I have to find my black for my shoes. I'm not sure where that is. My bow tie would be black. Alright, so the pinstripe would be just that. A very skinny stripe that would go straight up and down on his suit. Okay. Made that one a little thick. That's okay. Just put the stripes in there. All the way. And come down and put the pinstripes in his pants. Of course, the pants would match the jacket. Okay. Now we're going to put black in his shoes. And in his bow tie. The crayon is broken. It's not broken. A very good shape. There we go. Doesn't want to fit. Okay, his buttons would be black. All right. Then we cut this out. Okay. Now you didn't have to draw with brown. You could draw with pencil, but I wanted you to be able to see it. Then we cut out our Jazz Man. Okay. Try to cut on the lines. It's something we need to practice more and more is cutting. Alright, so there's his jacket. And I know you're saying, where's his arms? Where's his arms? Okay. Well, I haven't decided how I want him to hold his instrument. So I'm making his arms so that I can move them before I glue it all down. So on the second piece, on the paper that's left over, the second piece, let's draw the head and the arms and the instrument. Okay, so so I'm going to make a circle, and I'm not going to close it because I'm going to put a hat on it. So do the circle, but don't close. Okay, and then I would put a line here and a line here like that. Okay, now to do the hat, I am going to draw a curved line right above his head, just like that. All right, and then we're going to kind of go up and follow back. See how I did that? I went up, I'm following back, and then go around a curve, make a curve, make a curve, and then back down the other side. Right. They were. And then I'll put a stripe right there. All right. I'm going to make my stripe black. Okay. And my hat is going to match my suit, so it will be gray. So you do make your hat match your suit, whatever color you made your suit. Okay. Then Romare didn't really do when he had to paint the people himself. When he had to paint the people themselves in the, he wasn't using a picture, is what I'm trying to say. He never put the facial features in the pictures. He just would just color them brown or tan. Okay, he never actually put the facial features in. Only did you see that if he was cutting the face out of a magazine. Okay, so his collage people didn't have actual faces, nor did they have hands. So when we make the arms, okay, when we make the arms, and I'm gonna make a nice big oval. All right, I'm gonna make like mitten hands. Okay, so he didn't actually bother with fingers, or he wasn't interested in all the details. Oops, sorry. That shouldn't be brown, it should be gray because it should match my suit. Okay, so I did it in gray and a color. And then what do I have to put on the sleeve? Yep, the pinstripes. So make sure I put the stripes in there. Okay, and then the mittens for the hands. Okay, so what I would do, and what I'm going to do, is so that this arm and the other arm are the same size, I'm going to take, after I cut this out, I'm going to trace around it and make a second one. Okay? And then I made a saxophone for the instrument that they'll be playing, and I'll show you how I did that. I started with an S, like a really tall, skinny S shape. Okay? And then at the bottom of the S shape, I made a circle. Okay? At the top of the S shape, I made a rectangle. Okay? And then I made a second S shape. Okay, watch, there we go. There. And then I put some circles in there for keys. You don't have to show every little thing about the instrument in order for it to be recognized as that's the saxophone. And a saxophone would be a brass color. So you can either make it orange or you can make it yellow, whichever one you like. So it's a nice shiny color. All right. And then you want to cut these things out. Don't forget to make the second arm. All right. So I like to take mine and cut them into smaller pieces because I find that smaller pieces are easier to cut than big pieces because it's easier to hold. So I'm going to cut these out. Lots of cutting in this project. I'm going to have to start doing more cutting. I'm finding that scissor work is something that everybody needs practice on. Okay, so there's my saxophone. And let me get my arm here. I like to turn the paper when I'm cutting instead of turning my scissors. I think that's easier. All right, let's cut my head. All right, okay, let's make that other arm real quick. I'm going to turn this one over. I'm going to turn this over so that my hand is going in the right direction. And I'm just going to trace around it with my pencil. Okay. There you go. I can move that. Add my bottom of my sleeve. That's a better color. Alright, so what do we not forget on our jacket? That's right, we don't forget the pinstripes on the sleeve. Make sure you put the stripes in there. Okay, and this is hands are going to be brown. Okay, then we want to cut that one out. Right, so 2 arms, a head, saxophone, and body. All right. It's gonna go like that. All right. All right. So once we have all that work done, almost over, then we come back to our textured paper. Okay? And on the textured paper, we're going to decide where our jazz man is going to stand and how we want him. He can be up, straight up. He can be leaning sideways. He can go pretty much any way you want him to. Okay? And let's put his head. But I'm going to decide where everything is first before I... And if he hangs off the edges of the paper, that's okay. Right? Now, you want him to either be holding or playing his saxophone. So if he's playing the saxophone, you got to turn the arms so they look like they hold. Does that make sense? Turn them so they look like they're holding his saxophone. All right. When you glue things down, think about where you want them. All right. See how I got him? He's hanging off on both ends. He's taller than my paper, but that's okay. So now I'm going to glue him down. All right, let's talk about glue real quick. All right, I don't know what kind of glue you've got, whether you have a stick glue or whether you have Elmer's glue. I happen to have Elmer's glue, and I am not going to pour glue all over this guy. There's just no need for it, right? So what I'm going to do is just put like a couple of dots in different places to hold him down. Okay? It only takes dots of glue. It doesn't take a lot. I know glue's fun and we want to pour it all over the place, but it's just not necessary. I'm going to turn him sideways like that, I think. Now I'm going to have his head going. Now I want to put his head on there. I'm going to have his head go this way. And I'm just going to use little dots of glue. That's all it takes. Okay. I want his saxophone up here. So I'm going to put one arm like that. And one arm. Maybe like that. I might cut that off and just put his hand. Yeah. Alright, so let's just put the saxophone in. Little dots. Trying to put it where his mouth would be, even though he didn't draw his face. Okay, let's put the arm in there. Let's stick the other arm underneath. Like that. Okay. Alright, that's my jazz man, and I think that there's one thing missing, and that would be, if he's playing jazz, maybe we should put some musical notes coming out of his saxophone there. Let's put some musical notes there. As they're floating around. How's that? Okay. Alright, I might come down here. I might draw a little bit inside my thing and give him some ground. So he looks like he's standing. There we go. So that is Mr. Romare's Jazz Man. There we go. All right, do you enjoy putting him together? And don't forget to take a picture of it and send it to me so I can see your beautiful texture that you collected and your striping and your Jazz Man. All right, I'll talk with you again next week.